Who want to date in 2025? Nobody. So I came across this video that I did. Actually, this was my very first YouTube video that was meant for my first YouTube channel, which I never got started. So yeah. But I had planned to start a YouTube. I wished I had started the YouTube channel in 2012. I'd probably be a millionaire by now. But the video talks about where I was at the beginning of 2012. I had just gotten out of a relationship, or I was getting out of one. And this was, it wasn't a bad relationship. It was just a bad heartache for me. So as we revisit the video here, I can certainly laugh at it. I was laughing at it when I came across it. And you can just kind of, let's just laugh at it together. I mean, you can actually hear the hurt in my voice. You know, I even sound different. They say as you get older, your voice deepens, especially for women. And mine has. I don't smoke or anything like that, but I'm getting old and my voice is getting old and tired. But my voice, though you can tell the difference in my voice, you can also kind of hear the pain. And I'm just like, girl, while I'm watching this, girl, if you don't quit crying over that buffoon and get on with yourself. I also reference God a lot here. So it's just funny because, you know, when people, probably more so women than men, you know, when we're out here holding, I was 30, I think 36 or 37. So I was, you know, headed towards the, you know, the last chance street. And, you know, we kind of get to this place where we're like bargaining with God, like, okay, God, you know, I'm going to be out the streets and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to be good. Just please send me somebody. I'm going to do what's right. I ain't going to mess with this whack ass fool and all of that. So you can hear all of that in my voice. It's funny, but you know, I can laugh, and I'm always grateful for all of the experiences I've had and the things that I've learned from. It wasn't traumatic or anything. You know, I know people have gone through some stuff. This was nowhere near that, but I was gaga over this guy. I'm just so glad that I finally got out of that situationship. And, you know, it's just funny to look back on. So let's watch it together. So this is my first blog. Video blog. I think that I'm going to try to do a little something different. I'm not a YouTuber person, and I don't expect for it to be up on YouTube. But I just thought I'd make a video library, you know, with just different things that are going on with me. So today is the second day of 2012. And I'll just start off by saying I'm blessed. 2011 was a great year. I just did a lot. And I look forward to 2012. The best part of my 2012 is that I got a new job. I just spent, I don't know, about almost 2 years in a job, which I'm grateful to have because I know it's rough out there. But, so I am grateful to have the job, but I was just so unhappy and so miserable in the job that I was in. So I got that blessing, and I understand the importance of the lesson that God was trying to teach me, because I am terrible in the patience department. So I got the lesson, and I'm just so grateful for the blessing. So that's the best thing, the good news. The bad news, I suppose, or it's not really bad news, it's just change. And, you know, we all making changes in 2012. Girl! And mine is just letting go, of course. You know, I'm 36-year-old black woman, now single, just about to get out of a relationship that, you know, I exhausted. just I didn't want to go through another year in a relationship that wasn't working out for me.
I'm like, I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
I'm not a woman that asks for too much. I know, women say that all the time, but I really don't. And I know I can admit my flaws and areas that I need to improve upon. And, I feel that that's healthy to be able to do that. But I want to, when I am working on the things, whatever things that I need to work on, I know they are, but I'm not going to bore you with the gory details.
Girl!
Whatever I need to work on, the person that I'm with, the man that I'm with, I want him to be, and this doesn't come out right, but deserving of that. I mean, I don't want to waste my time on somebody who's not worth my time, and and give him my all, or really trying to be a better person, for myself and for my significant other, and just to be happy. I mean, we all want to be happy. I mean, that's the main thing. And God has blessed me with so much. I just want the companionship, and it's just rough. I'm kind of scared getting out of this relationship, because it's just, I mean, this might be our 6th or 7th breakup.
Damn!
Truth be told, and we've been together on and off since, I don't know, 2010s, and it's maybe into 9, so it's been a short relationship, but 2 years is quite some time to invest.
I haven't had many relationships. I haven't had many lengthy relationships in my time, but this was kind of one. I think it went on and off for 2 years, and you know what on and off means. But it was a hard one for me, even though the person was definitely not good for me. It was one of those relationships that you have that many women, no, I shouldn't say women, because men go through it too. I know y'all do. It was one of those relationships that you had, that some of us had, that involved a lot of heartache, but the relationship was never, it wasn't meant to be. But there's always that one. This was one of the relationships that was the lesson of what not to do ever again.
But I don't regret anything. I feel like, I've learned a lot of things that I need, and I'm just ready for the right man, to come into my life now. I know you're like, well, you just got out of a relationship, you need time, and yes, I'm going to allow myself time, but I feel like I've been wanting, like a lot of other single black women who are worth it, have been wanting that and waiting for that man, for some time. But I also realized that I had to clean out the old and prepare myself, for the new and for what is right.
Okay, God, I'm going to be out the streets.
And so that's where I'm about to be. And I don't know, I look forward to 2012. I mean, like I said, it's starting off right with a new job. I still plan to travel, still plan to, just be a better person. And I look forward to making new friends, building my relationships with my current, friendships, and hopefully meeting, somebody nice. But I'm sure I have some interesting videos coming up, jumping back into the dating scene, because it's crazy out there. I mean, a couple of times from the breakups from my current ex, I jumped back out there.
What's that on a beat, bro?
And, not ready, not over him, not, allowing time for myself and all of that. And it's just crazy. It's scary. I mean, it's good out there. I know it's good out there because I'm out here and I'm good. But, it's just scary. And I think about all those, the sites, the Craigslist, the Match, the eHarmony, all of those. I'm not saying that those won't work, but it's just scary. And, meeting people at work,
I would say that's the best way, but then again, you don't want to date anybody that you work with or that works in the vicinity of where you work, because you just never know. But we'll see. I'm sure I'll have some interesting stories for you. But anyway, this is my first blog. I'm trying to keep them down to 5 minutes or less. I don't know if I succeeded in that. First blog of 2012. I already have my glass of wine. That's always going to be on the menu.
Ah, honey, look at that wine. It wasn't light enough to be a decent rosé, and it wasn't dark enough to be anything of sustenance. Woo, poor baby.
And we'll just see what comes. You know, we'll see what comes, but we'll see what 2012 has to bring. Thank you for your time.
And that next blog never came because I got my hot ass back out in the streets and fucked around with God knows whoever. But it's all good. You know, you're supposed to live, love, laugh in your 20s and your 30s. I mean, when you start pushing up above 35, 36, you should be trying to settle it down. But it's all good, you know, live and learn. A couple of years later, I did eventually meet my husband and was married, who is now my ex-husband.
Damn!
But, hey, we're great friends. And, you know, life is life, you know. So that was 2012. It's 2025. And I date on and off very seldomly. I just, you know, I just date when I want to be social. Recently went out on a date, which I will go over in the next video. It's very brief because it was a brief date. Okay, God, you know, I'm going to be out the streets.